While there are many ways to be happily in love, one way to earn that dream relationship is to have common interests with your partner. A sport, a hobby, a taste for violence and death, a thirst for blood and power, coupley things.
Stupid bats, you're ruining date night!
What if Hela, the goddess of death, found the 10 rings? Y'all, this was the episode I was most excited for in the What If series. Y'all know me, ever since I saw this man make his appearance in the MCU, I've been in love. I even got custom made 10 rings because of this movie. For myself. Look, here they are. Here they are. They're hard to put on, so I'm not gonna put them on. They're kind of a pain in the ass to put on, but they still beautiful, man. Look at that. Look at that. That's so sick. Wenwu and Hela? What? That's such an unlikely pairing that made for a delightfully bizarre episode. It parallels the first and third Thor movies and Shang-Chi, with Hela landing on Earth in ancient China, being banished by Odin. And Hela, the goddess of death, meets a man who matches her energy. I would have never thought these two were the same, but they both have a twisted ambition, a hunger for power, and a taste for violence. I think the best thing about this episode was the dark alliance between these two, but also Hela's well-written redemption arc. This is the first time we really feel for her. Being stripped of her power and dependent on the kindness of a mortal man, we see how she looks at herself. She looks at herself as a weapon first and a human second. Placing Hela in Ta Lo, where she's forced to confront her inner demons, really gave this episode a charm that none of the other episodes had. I always thought that she was a compelling character because she serves as the living embodiment of Asgard's dark and bloody past. Odin made her this way. This was his firstborn child, and this was his general, if you will. This was his right hand in the destruction and the conquest of Asgard. You would not have Asgard without Hela. You literally wouldn't. Asgard was built on the blood of suffering. That suffering being from Hela when Odin was a conqueror, more like Thanos or Wenwu even. And so then, when her ambition outgrew his and he wanted to settle down and be a benevolent, kind, and peaceful king, she's a monster, but it's a monster of his own making. And then he banishes her and sends her to hell. Like, what? What? You feel really sorry for her in Ragnarok. She is evil, but at the same time, she's broken. But she needs to be stopped. But I felt even more sorry for her in this episode of What If. We really got to know her more personally because this story focused on her in Ta Lo, harnessing energy, finding peace, and then defeating Odin with Wenwu. And hold on, before I get into that, the fact that she defeated Odin, got her crown back, and turned into something new, a force for good, just goes to show that if Odin was a better father, Hela would have turned out to be good, a protagonist, a liberator in the main timeline. Hela was bad, Loki was bad because Odin was a shitty father. Thor was the only one who turned out good after being banished from Asgard, losing all his power, living on Earth, and falling in love. He has literally had to cast or banish his children, every single one of them. He threw Loki in prison, he casted Thor out, and he banished Hela. He has literally had to do with every single one of his children. If all of your children are bad and they all hate you and you have to do extreme things like this, maybe you're a shitty dad. All I'm saying is, if Odin was a better dad, Asgard would still be around in the MCU today. But this episode of What If was high on art and really freaking entertaining and amazing. This is the kind of episode that has you exhilarated with mind-bending action sequences as well as pure, unadulterated comic book chaos. Having Hela team up with Wenwu, the master of the Ten Rings, to take on Odin, this shit was amazing, bro. Bro, this is my favorite character in the whole freaking, I don't even know. I want to say he's my favorite character in the MCU, but I really love Iron Man and I really love Thanos. It would definitely be those top three for sure. But Wenwu is so freaking amazing. He is so freaking badass with the 10 rings. Seeing him again, oh my god, take on Odin. And they really showed us the power of the 10 rings in a way that even Shang-Chi didn't do. They really showed us that these weapons can take on a god. I'm not saying that Wenwu could have beat Odin by himself. He definitely needed Hela's help. However, the 10 rings are strong enough to take on a god. And we're going to be talking about more of that on this channel. Because this episode done brought that hype back. We're going to be talking about some more of that on the channel. So stay tuned. Guys, this was the best episode in the whole series. 10 out of 10 by far. Brave, bizarre, bold, you name it. That's all for today, super friends. Let me know what you thought about this episode down below. Let me know all your thoughts, likes, dislikes, anything. If you like this channel, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.